This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Thursday, the 18th day of November in the year 2021. I'm Gordon Mosley. Here's what we're tracking tonight. Public servants, including constitutional office holders, teachers, and members of the disciplined forces, will be getting a 7% increase in their salaries for the year 2021. The increase will be retroactive to January and will be taxed. The salary increase announcement was made by the senior minister responsible for finance, Dr. Ashley Singh, in a special nationally televised announcement this afternoon.
This increase will be granted retroactively to 1st of January 2021, and work will start immediately to ensure that it is processed and paid to eligible employees together with their December salary and in time for the festive Christmas season. Instructions have already been issued for the work to commence immediately to implement these measures we have just announced. At the same time, fellow Guyanese, your government is also currently working hard on preparations for Budget 2022, which will continue the steps we have already started to take to place our one Guyana irreversibly on the path to national prosperity for the benefit of all Guyanese.
In addition to the across-the-board salary increase, the minister also announced that the government has set aside $400 million as a special payment for frontline workers in the health sector who continue to battle the deadly COVID-19 pandemic. The finance minister said the details of the frontline payout will be announced shortly and will be made to eligible employees before the end of this year. Moving into next year, the finance minister said the government will be looking at the salary scale in the public service and efforts will be made to fix various anomalies.
Your government has recognized the existence of a number of anomalies and disparities across positions within the public service salary scales, as a result of which there are marked inconsistencies across the pay received by persons holding similar qualifications but occupying different posts, depending on the agency in which they work, the post to which they are appointed, and the salary scale in which their post is classified. For example, a new graduate with a degree in environmental science might be earning $120,000 in one agency, while a new graduate with an identical degree in environmental science might be earning $190,000 in another agency. Your government will be taking steps next year to reduce these inconsistencies by making suitable adjustments to salaries in order to improve the parity and consistency with which persons with comparable qualifications are paid. Provisions will be made for this in Budget 2022.
The announcement by the finance minister this afternoon came after months of public servants asking questions about the salary increases. There were no salary increases in 2020, and there was no mention of that in the minister's statement this afternoon. It should also be noted that the president and his ministers and all members of parliament and other constitutional office holders will all benefit from the 7% increase to their salaries. On the other side of the break, reaction to the increases.
It's been a long time coming. Overdue, some might say. But now that it's here, it will change life forever. And it is here to stay. The future is now. Transforming Guyana into the 21st century. Introducing GTT Fiber. Experience internet connectivity like never before. Speeds you deserve at prices you can afford from a name you can trust. Sign up today. GTT Fiber is here. GTT. Together, we rise faster.
The light on your face, no mask will hide.
Feel the joy burn deep inside.
Let's have a great Christmas this year.
You, me, and Republic Bank, my dear.
Whatever you need, light up your Christmas with Republic Bank and get a chance to win $825,000 in cash prizes. Plus, get a chance to give a family a Christmas hamper in your name. Log on to republicguyana.com for more details. Let's light up Christmas.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
We've got exciting news! All 12-ounce yellow cab Buster are now only $100. Buster, live in
Come
full
get
color.
your Buster, Buster $100. Come get your Buster, Buster $100.
Mobile Delvac and all other mobile lubricants are distributed by Salt Guyana Inc. Mobil Delvac and all other mobile lubricants are distributed by Salt Guyana Inc.
We ain't waiting on Santa. We buying we own this Christmas. With a GBTI quick cash loan, you could buy that new stove or living room set for your home, or maybe a smart TV or phone, gadgets, jewelry, furniture, whatever you need to make your Christmas special for you and yours. Do it with up to $300,000 from GBTI. Apply at your nearest branch or online at www.gbtibank.com. Terms and conditions apply.
The Guyana Public Service Union has slammed the announced 7% across-the-board salary increase for public servants as shameless and insensitive. GPSU President Patrick Yard, in an interview with News Source this evening, said while the government has offered a 7% increase for 2021, it has offered absolutely nothing for 2020. And that is more than insulting to the public servants of Guyana, who have been working throughout the pandemic over the past 2 years.
First of all, let me say that this is another shameless display of the government. And it is one that we have been putting up with for quite some time with governments. It's not confined to one. And it is one for the entire nation to look at. You know, when they had election campaigning, you had big slogans by this government of 50% increase of public servants. 50%. And after being in office for more than a year, covering a 2-year period, 2020 and 2021, because we're in the month of 2021, all they could come up with is 7% public servants for 1 year after they went through the entire 2020, the most deadly year in my lifetime, the most deadly year from my research for over a century. 2020, they offer not 1 cent.
The GPSU president also said the government continues to ignore the union and has refused to meet with the union on salary increases, despite the union dispatching several requests.
It is so insulting. You know, it is so, to my mind, insensitive with the increase that has occurred in the cost of living over the period 2020 and 2021. And the gimmicks that they are referring to, but with these handouts, about $25,000 and all this nonsense.
According to Mr. Yard, the union had to be smart earlier this year in not calling out the workers to strike at the time when they were dealing with the pandemic and its hardships. The Guyana Public Service Union president said while the government had a lot to say about breaching of the Constitution in relation to last year's elections, it is already doing the same by not respecting the collective bargaining agreement and continuing to ignore the representatives of the workers. Some sad news to report now. A horrific accident in the vicinity of Caledonia on the east bank of the Marara claimed the lives of a Linden husband and wife this afternoon, according to the police. The two have been identified as Nicholas Valsin and Ulyssa Sanderson Valsin. Initial reports stated the two were in a car heading south along the East Bank Public Road when the canter truck traveling in the opposite direction suddenly veered into their lane, causing a head-on collision. The impact pinned the couple in the car and also left the passenger in the back seat trapped. Persons rushed across and offered assistance to get the persons out. All of the injured persons were taken to the Diamond Hospital, where the husband and wife were pronounced dead. The other person who was injured has been admitted. The seriousness of that person's injuries is unknown. The driver of the canter truck was unhurt and has been taken into police custody to assist with the investigations. The young couple recently tied the knot a few months ago, and they were expecting a baby. Investigations are underway tonight. Health News report now. On the eve of the start of the campaign to vaccinate children ages 5 to 11 years old against COVID-19, the Ministry of Health has raised concern about a noticeable slowdown in the vaccination rate among children ages 12 to 17 years old. At the start of the teenage vaccination campaign, thousands of parents took their children to take the Pfizer jab, but there has been a drastic slowdown in the vaccination rate among that age group, which is worrying the health authorities. Less than 30% of children ages 12 to 17 have been fully vaccinated against COVID-19. During today's COVID-19 update, the health minister said there is now a challenge in getting more children vaccinated.
So it is an area of concern for us. We have to redouble our efforts with the Ministry of Education to make sure that more of the persons who are at school or within this school age, that they get their vaccination.
The Ministry of Health also wants to target out-of-school youths and is pushing for the assistance of parents to get their children vaccinated. One of the big challenges that the ministry is now facing is that while children who test positive would experience a mild form of the virus, in other cases there are cases of multisystemic disorders which could lead to them being hit with a more severe form of COVID-19.
So it is something that we have to monitor. So children need to be vaccinated to keep them safe, and the Pfizer vaccine is what we are using to ensure that we vaccinate this population.
The Minister of Health is appealing to parents, teachers and influential persons in communities across the country to encourage young people between the ages of 12 to 17 to get vaccinated so that they can be properly protected against COVID-19. Let's tell you now that the acting Chancellor of the Judiciary, Justice Janet Cummings, has revealed that over 3,000 cases of gender-based violence have made their way to the courts so far for this year. Describing the situation as a cause for concern, the Chancellor made a call for there to be a special department set up to deal specifically with the question of gender-based violence, which continues to affect women, men and children across the country. The University of Guyana, UNICEF and the judiciary are partners in a new initiative. The Chancellor said she believes there need to be persons who are properly trained in dealing with cases of gender-based violence so as to ensure the safety of victims. She said the judiciary will continue to work to put systems in place to assist victims of gender-based violence. The local judiciary, in collaboration with UNICEF and the University of Guyana, will be conducting training sessions on gender-based violence, reporting cases of gender-based violence, and generally dealing with gender-based violence in the country. The Chancellor sees the training as a positive step to assist victims of the scourge. The training sessions will be free of cost and will be conducted by psychologists, Khadija Khan, and supported by UNICEF. A drug eradication operation by the police in the Upper Berbice River area unearthed over 500,000 marijuana plants, 2,000 pounds of dried marijuana, and 100 pounds of marijuana seeds, along with 4 nurseries. In a statement today, the police pegged the total cost attached to the marijuana bust at just over $2 billion. The operation was carried out by police ranks in the Region 10 area. The marijuana farm was discovered on 40 acres of land in the village of Maria Henrietta, Upper Berbice River. Some of the marijuana plants carried a height of 8 feet. A total of 6 camps were discovered, along with living quarters with several hammocks. 2 suspects reportedly escaped from the farm in a speedboat as the police arrived on the scene to conduct the searches. The police said during the searches, several suspected emptied 12-gauge shotgun cartridges were found in one of the camps. All of the marijuana found on the farm and the entire farm were destroyed. This is the second large marijuana farm that has been destroyed by the police for this week. In the courts now, 5 men were charged and remanded to jail today for the murder of 54-year-old Berbice resident Beam Evans. Evans was beaten and chopped to death and stuffed in a rice bag last Friday when he attempted to stop the men from attacking his son. The men were reportedly looking for the same Evans initially, accusing him of stealing several valuables from the home of one of the 5 men who attacked him. Those charged with the man's murder are 22-year-old Brian Evans, 27-year-old Ryan Downraj, 18-year-old James David, 22-year-old Samuel Vanbrook, and 22-year-old Leeward Chung. The 5 accused are all from the Berbice region. According to the police charge sheet, the murder took place on the 11th of November at number 11 Village, West Coast, Berbice. The victim was initially attacked by two of the men now facing the murder charge, and the other three joined in, beating and slashing the man's body allegedly. The five were not required to enter a plea to the charges today and have been remanded. They will make their next court appearance in December.
Farfan Mendes is committed to promoting development through quality, service, and integrity. Customers are guaranteed genuine products, reliability, and excellence in service. Their corporate head office at Providence affords you the added convenience of a spacious showroom with secured parking. Farfan Mendes continues to offer their valued customers a wide range of genuine and affordable German-engineered equipment. They're leading the way in clean, green alternative energy solutions with industry-leading brands of solar equipment. So visit their showroom at Providence and enjoy efficient and courteous service. Farfan Mendes, offering you solutions you can depend on.
Mobil Special and all other Mobil lubricants are distributed by Sol Guyana Inc. Mobil Special and all other Mobil lubricants are distributed by Sol Guyana Inc.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true. Or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
We've got exciting news! All 12-ounce yellow cab Buster are now only $100. Buster, live in
Come
full
get
color.
your Buster, Buster $100. Come get your Buster, Buster $100.
We are legions of men standing strong, but never too proud to stoop and help someone. We must send a clear signal to all. Do right, walk in upright ways, knowing that's what being a man is all about. And ever aware that things will only get worse when good men do nothing. Stand strong, be the one to live right.
It's been a long time coming. Overdue, some might say. But now that it's here, it will change life forever. And it is here to stay. The future is now. Transforming Guyana into the 21st century. Introducing GTT Fiber. Experience internet connectivity like never before. Speeds you deserve at prices you can afford from a name you can trust. Sign up today. GTT Fiber is here. GTT. Together, we rise faster.
Fuel it up and drive, super 95. Fuel it up and drive, super 95. Protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Guy Oil's Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guy Oil's Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive.
Across the region tonight, good news for the Bahamas. The Ministry of Tourism in the Bahamas says it has taken note of the updated travel advisory issued by the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, reducing its travel recommendation for the Bahamas from a level 4 to a level 3 destination. The CDC evaluates lower risk due to decreased COVID-19 case counts as well as lower case trajectory. Vaccine coverage rates and performance also play a role in the CDC's determination of advisory levels. The Ministry of Tourism in the Bahamas said the public in the Bahamas cannot let its guard down and that the systems that have been put in place are working. The ministry said vigilance will be imperative as precautions will continue to remain in place, especially to ensure that safety remains of the utmost importance for residents and visitors of the Bahamas. The ministry said recent updates to entry requirements, such as ensuring both fully vaccinated and unvaccinated travelers obtain a negative COVID-19 test result before travel to the islands, combined with on-island restrictions as necessary, have proven successful in helping to minimize the spread of COVID-19 in the Bahamas. In neighboring Brazil, Brazilian military police clashed with an indigenous group in the northern Amazon state of Roraima during an operation to remove a roadblock, the state government said, as tensions mounted in the reserve over illegal gold mining and land invasions. The Raposa Serra do Sol Reserve site of the incident, which occurred on Tuesday, has become a flashpoint for rival indigenous movements in Brazil. President Jair Bolsonaro recently visited one faction that shares his support for mining on tribal land. The Indigenous Council of Roraima said 6 people were injured in a confrontation it called an invasion. On Facebook, it shared photos of the aftermath, including an image of indigenous men with bleeding wounds to the head and chest. The council has said the barricades are designed to stop illegal gold miners from entering the territory. In a statement released by the Roraima state government, police said they were following a judicial order to remove roadblocks from the highways. They said the organizers of the roadblock had initially dispersed when the police arrived, but later returned with a group of some 100 people armed with bows and arrows and machetes. And finally tonight, international news. Nigeria's government has welcomed the decision by the US to remove it from a list of countries where it is concerned about religious freedom. The information minister in Nigeria, Lai Mohammed, described the decision as just and fair. Nigeria jealously safeguards religious freedom and takes any violation seriously, he added. The US decision came ahead of Secretary of State Antony Blinken's first visit to the country. In April, the U.S. government's Commission on International Religious Freedom recommended that Nigeria remain on the list, citing violence by militant Islamists and other non-state armed forces, as well as discrimination, arbitrary detentions, and capital blasphemy sentences by state authorities. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley, reporting and encouraging you to stay safe.